Hey, yo. Happy Valentine's Day. It's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of SCScoops.com, adfreeshows.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. Per usual, per Friday, I am here with Mr. Robert Karpelis, WD Creative _ish. We are ready to talk a little love, a little Valentine's Day, but some wrestling. Right, Robert? Right?
Look, there's no place I would rather be on Valentine's Day than right now here with you, which is an absolute lie. But let's be friends, and there's a picture of a bee on it here for this special Valentine's Day edition. So let's choose for some wrestling news. That's the last I'm doing of that. Just say hi to the folks who are joining us, Tom.
Hello, folks. Hello, Triple E. What's up? Johnny Disco, happy SmackDown Friday. Wrestling Old Head says, maybe it's the beer talking, Marge, but you've got a butt that won't quit. They got those big chewy pretzels that are hard. Gal, ever beer, $5. Get out of here.
Man, Dan Castellaneta better watch out because Dom is coming for his job. What a Homer Simpson that was.
I tell you what, I nailed it. Happy Valentine's Day, R&I. Let's be friends.
Hey, look at that.
There we go. I choose R&I this morning. Very nice. Happy Vengeance Day, everyone. Very nice as well. Happy Valentine's Day, says Michael Watson. Where else would you rather be? So, we also have Chris Curtis says, what's Rob's heat with Greg Gagne? Not a Rambo. Greg Gagne fan? That's a good question. What is your heat with Greg, Robert?
Dom, you and I have something in common in that we have both produced Mr. Gagne. Not a one-take guy.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm going to say. I love
all
Greg.
Right.
Greg Gagne, look, he is the Eric Watts of wrestling.
Oh my! More than that. Come on, Eric Watts.
It took you way too long. Speaking of things that took Dom too long, we do want to apologize to those of you who listened to Working Stiff. There was some technical glitches. It had gotten posted, but Dom had switched the platform, and for whatever reason, didn't get uploaded to some places. It is available right now. So if you're listening to this show, as soon as you're done watching Rumor and Innuendo, go check out Working Stiff, which is available across your podcast audio platforms. It's well worth it, but it is well worth Dom talking about the breaking news that came out earlier today.
That's right. Some may say it's pretty McCool news because...
No, we're not doing that. Oh, I didn't even see the name of the... Damn it, Dom. The name of the episode is Too McCool for Valentine's Day.
That's right. Michelle McCool has been announced. She is a WWE Hall of Famer in 2025. She joins Triple H in the class. What do you think of this induction, Robert?
So I watched the clip. Mm-hmm. They were on the Get Up on ESPN.
Oh. And
it was Undertaker and Michelle McCool were on as guests. And then they surprised them at the end with Triple H popping up on the screen. And he's saying, hey, Undertaker, you blindsided me. So it's only fair that I get the last laugh. Told Michelle she's going to be in the Hall of Fame. She got emotional. Undertaker got whatever his version of emotional is. And it was a sweet moment. Wrestling Old Head points out literally what I was going to say, so you may as well give him the credit, which is McCool before Victoria. There was a window of time, an era where great women's wrestlers were not fully appreciated. Ironically enough, Scott Stapp and I were literally just talking about that yesterday. But there's a number of women who could absolutely go in the ring. A Jackie Moore, an Ivory, a Molly Holly, who were not given the real opportunity, a Jazz, not really given the real opportunity to show what they could do because Vince felt the audience did not have an appetite for women's wrestling beyond 3-4 minute fillers as a token match. Mm-hmm. Michelle McCool was sort of one of the people who bridged that gap from that prior era to the more modern women's revolution era. Michelle McCool is someone you think of when you think of the Divas title, but she worked very, very hard to increase her skill, up her game from a Diva Search contestant to being someone who took wrestling seriously. The Lay Cool stuff that she did with Layla they were very good. It did not age well.
Sure.
That was another thing, just timely enough we were talking about the way WWE handled women especially when it came to physical appearance and bullying and a lot of very uncomfortable overtones. He used Michelle McCool to bully Mickey James for, in their mind, getting heavy. All kinds of really weird nonsense. But I think Michelle McCool was someone people do like. They do respond to her. Would I have put her in the Hall of Fame? It's WWE Hall of Fame. Everybody at some point or another ultimately kind of winds up going. And I think there are people who probably deserve to be in there before her. But unfortunately for Victoria, she didn't marry The Undertaker.
Well, I think too. I think you make a great point that like she was one of those talents that was bridging that gap of like, hey, we're going into this new women's era, but she like in the realm that she could still wrestle and she could still perform. And so I do look at that time period as like such a weird time period for women's wrestling at that juncture. They didn't get a lot of attention and things like that. But she was definitely part of that. And I do think she warrants a Hall of Fame induction for sure. But yeah, an argument can certainly be made for some of the names that you made, like a Jacqueline Moore. She's not a Hall of Famer yet, correct? Like,
I lose track of who's in the Hall of
I
Fame
do
at this
too.
point.
I do too. But there's a lot of those, and Victoria, I think, will get there because she just announced last year that she was signed to like a Legends deal. Finally, she's part of that.
She was, and she's someone who definitely deserves it. I think the WWE Hall of Fame, there is no real criteria, there is no real rubric. It's just determining who they want to let in and how they want to let them in, and what their relationship is with the WWE. So Michelle McCool works because we know that means the Undertaker is going to be there. And
Right.
sometimes you got to think about what's going to work the best for programming. So Triple H and Michelle McCool are strong enough names that I don't know if Undertaker is going to be the one to induct her, but it certainly means Undertaker is going to be there, and keeping Undertaker happy is not a bad idea. Another note, I'm hijacking your
Go
run
for it. I
sheet
don't care.
because you didn't put it on the rundown, but it is worth talking about, which is the WWE made inroads and signed another group that we never thought we were going to get a chance to see again, Dom,
Oh, correct.
and
Yeah.
that's Demolition.
Right. That's good stuff right there, Robert. It's really good.
The Axe and Smash were part of a lawsuit against the WWE for that concussion protocol, and then they were therefore erased from existence. They were erased from existence before because for a while we did not have the license to the Demolition theme song.
Right.
So it was an absolute pain in the pick your body part that you'd cover with Mando, and you had to go in and re-edit it and cut all that out. So I know friend of the show, co-host Mike Lawrence, very excited because this means we will probably get a Demolition action figure. They'll get into the Hall of Fame, and this is something that's important to remember when it comes to Vince for a long time, with a lot of people who were like, how could wrestlers stand Vince McMahon and stomach and tolerate a lot of things that happened with him in the past, long before the most recent allegations came out? It's because he controls their legacies. You look at the video libraries that Vince McMahon owns. He owns the AWA library, the WCW library, the WWF library, the ECW library,
World
Smoky
class.
Mountain,
World class.
World Class, Mid South. So anyone can either exist or not exist under his thumb. So when Demolition chose to sue, when a guy like Raven chose to sue, they get erased from existence. Bret Hart for a long time was persona non grata because of it. And what brought Bret back into the company was needing some of the footage, needing some of the photos, needing some of the licensed materials for his book. And when that guy controls your legacy, you kind of have to bend the knee. I think that with Demolition, Paul Levesque is trying to show we're making overtures to those people who felt that things were not done properly in the past, but they deserve their moment in the sun. What's interesting about The Undertaker and Michelle McCool with this timing was The Undertaker was quoted yesterday
Yeah.
talking about his relationship with Vince,
Mhm.
and it was not the best answer, Dom.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, and I think we talked about this when all these the allegations and the lawsuit broke out. Was like, man, it puts a lot of wrestlers in a tough position because, yeah, they considered Vince in many ways a father figure. Some did. Undertaker noted that. Some looked at him as like a friend and things like that. And so there's this dichotomy where it's like, whoa, okay, he's he's been accused of doing some heinous things. And now, how are a lot of wrestlers and talents going to react? Some are standing their ground, and younger talent seem to be a little bit more outspoken about certain things. Seth Rollins was one of them too. That kind of
Undertaker's logic was, look, he's my friend. We don't talk about these things. I don't want to know what's going on with those things. It's not a great position to be in. I've known people who have been canceled for one reason or another, and it is a very isolating feeling where it's like, all right, this is not a person that you really can associate with, given what has come to light, and that's happened, unfortunately, a lot in the wrestling world. But we'll move on to positive things like SmackDown is tonight.
Oh, I tell you what, Robert, I was looking at the preview for SmackDown. It's a pretty good preview. It's hailing from Washington, D.C. Hey, somebody that was there yesterday was Linda McMahon, Paul Levesque, and Stephanie McMahon, and Shane.
That was the proper order, by the way, is we name everyone and Shane.
They weren't at the Capital One Arena, but they were at the Senate hearing. So we have tonight a men's elimination chamber qualifying match: Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman versus Damian Priest. Ooh, boy, I am excited for this one. How are they going to showcase Jacob Fatu? Who do you think is going to pull out the W on this one here, too, Robert?
So it's Damian Priest, Jacob Fatu, and Braun Strowman. To quote Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But there's no reason why this wouldn't be Damian Priest. It feels like you're setting up that it's going to be Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu taking each other out more than anything else. Priest being the last guy in the Elimination Chamber as a former world champion makes a lot of sense. That kind of feels like that's where this is ultimately going to go. And then you can set up the Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre match that's been rumored for Mania. I know this card keeps getting rumored that it's being upended and torn apart 6, 7, 8, 10 times over. But I see no reason why you shouldn't do Priest and Drew. I think that's a very strong one-on-one match. Don't want to see Drew and LA Knight.
Yeah, I want to see. I think, Drew has been such a benefit to a lot of talents, like who he's worked with. I mean, CM Punk, like elevating CM Punk while CM Punk is hurt, and in the same turn, like just feuding with CM Punk's a good thing too. But I think Drew he was my superstar of the year last year, so I think him being positioned with Damian Priest will benefit Damian Priest in this new singles run that he's having, sans Judgment Day. So I'm more for that too than anything else. I think too, Robert. What else I am for too is tonight's women's championship match. It's Tiffany Stratton going up against Nia Jax. How are you going to position Tiffany Stratton here? These are two heels. Are we going to see some babyface potential here when it comes to Tiffy time, if you will?
Yeah, I think Tiffany will sort of be the default babyface in this match. This gives the WWE an opportunity for a surprise, for a shocking moment, if that's what they so desire, where either we get a new champion in Nia Jax, or we get the title held up for some reason. There's all sorts of ways that this can go down. It is a good, strong match to put on this week's episode. They know because it is Valentine's Day, the numbers are probably going to take a little bit of a hit. Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and advertise in advance a notable match in the women's title match with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton.
Yes, we also have another notable women's match. It's an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Chelsea Green taking on Naomi. I know Chelsea Green's the United States champ, but could kind of see Naomi, them telling a bit of a story here with her and what potentially could be down with Jade Cargill. So would assume or think or make a bet that Naomi would win this, but also Chelsea Green is the United States champ, so how are you going to protect her like we did with Lyra Valkyria?
Chelsea Green's the United States champion. Elimination Chamber takes place in Canada. I would venture to guess Chelsea Green will be in this Elimination Chamber match.
Oh, okay. So you think it's going the other way around?
I think it's going to go the other way around. I don't think that they want to risk a lot of physicality between Naomi and Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see where that ultimately goes. But that's how a lot of people are going to spend their Valentine's Day this evening. And if your loved one is going with you in Washington D.C. to SmackDown, you better send them something nice.
Yes.
Maybe cook them a nice dinner. I can't do that because I am a terrible cook, Dom.
Oh,
I have no cooking ability whatsoever. But thankfully, I don't have to worry about that because, guys, you can. Are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes, so you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. You can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals based on a randomized controls clinical trial with Factor Keto. Results will vary depending on diet and exercise. They have over 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each and every week. It's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto, or do what I do and just pick the chef recommends. Let them decide what it's going to be. They can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. Those smoothies are legit. That is a strong way to start your morning. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/rumor50off and use code rumor50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code rumor50off at factormeals.com/rumor50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. There we go. It's I'm excited. My Factor box has been scheduled. My next one's been scheduled to arrive, so I will be eating. I'll be eating well next week. Maybe I'll do an unboxing on the air, Dom.
I like that. That's a fun thing to do. Hey, we're gonna get an unboxing in Australia, down under, mate. It's AEW Grand Slam.
That was the weirdest segue. I don't know what you. What are they unboxing? They
out of the kangaroo papoose, if you will. That's a horrible accent.
Oh, but, God. Can you never say the word papoose again on
papoose.
Air? What did I do? Damn it, Dom. All right. Let's talk about this. What once was a pay-per-view and is now not. It was moved due to security concerns over Saddam Hussein. It was an excuse that worked before. Let's use it again.
Right. The ghost of Saddam has traveled to Australia, and we relocated. But Saddam, the ghost of Saddam, will see Mariah May defending her AEW Women's Championship against timeless Toni Storm. Will this main event the show? And what's your prediction here,
Bobby? I'm somewhat torn because there's this match, and then there's the Mercedes Moné Harley Cameron match.
Yeah.
And in one of those instances, I feel like you kind of need to change the title. The issue with taking the title off of Mariah May and putting it back on Toni Storm here at what's not a pay-per-view, what's airing at like 1 o'clock in the morning after the All-Star Game coverage is over, is you're not going to get a huge audience for it. And if you put the title back on Toni Storm, you're just going to do another Toni Storm Mariah May match.
Right.
So I feel like there's a way where Mariah May could retain this title and you get another opportunity to do a Toni Storm Mariah May match in a bigger setting, in a bigger environment, say in a month's time at their next pay-per-view. That being said, I would probably switch the title to Harley Cameron off of Mercedes Moné. Harley Cameron's promo was outstanding. She's definitely one of the talks of the wrestling world. And even if it's a short run, it's a feel-good moment for that crowd that is feeling very, very bad about buying tickets to this show.
Yeah, I think while the build and story has been good for Toni Storm versus Mariah May, I will say like the past couple of weeks have felt significant, but I think you can make it feel bigger. So I think it's okay that you can kind of put a rain check on Toni Storm defeating Mariah May and further their feud down the line. But I'm with you. I think Harley Cameron should win this title against Mercedes Moné. I think she's almost, since she has little experience, she's almost the perfect opponent to beat Mercedes Moné because it's just like catch her off guard, boom, and you can kind of develop something new for Mercedes where she's actually going for the main women's title, I think. And I think that's been a long time coming here. So I would predict Harley Cameron wins, and yeah, Toni Storm will not win the title. Here's another title match. Buddy Matthews taking on Okada for that AEW Continental Championship. This is also Buddy Matthews' home country. Could we see a title change here, and would it make sense, Robert?
No.
Okay.
How's that for analysis? Now, we have barely seen Okada.
Yes.
I think it is safe to say you can put Okada on a milk carton because he has not been on Dynamite. There was a brief, excuse me, got a hiccup.
Oh,
There was a brief interaction with Okada and Buddy 2 weeks ago. There are bigger matches for Okada. They're building to Okada and Omega. This is a way to guarantee a very good, very competitive match with a hometown guy. But I think that Buddy's fate lies in the tag division with Brody King.
Yeah, that just makes a lot more sense for the time being. And yeah, I couldn't imagine. It's a nice little thing for Buddy to have a primary match here on in his home country. So that's the route I think it's going to.
Think the world of Buddy. Think that he's a big star. So hopefully he has a good showing, if nothing else.
And I think in an alternate universe, like, he should win that title and he could really do something with that title. Like, I think
in an alternate universe.
That's it. But we're not in an alternate universe.
No, it's Australia. It's literally an alternate universe.
Well, this I can't transition anyway like that. But Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, they're taking on Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Yeah, what do you do with this one here, Robert?
Yawn was not indicative of a lack of excitement for this match, but I kind of feel like you have to let the heels win this one. Mm-hmm. You still have money in a match going forward with any one-off with these guys. It's Kenny and Ospreay teaming together, but some sort of miscommunication, some sort of miscue, some sort of lack of alignment, and you can get Kenny and Ospreay potentially feuding with one another. The problem is that if Ospreay successfully vanquishes the Don Callis family here, they said they're going to go after the Death Riders, and the last thing we want is to make anybody have to wrestle the Death Riders. What's the next match, Dom?
Hey, somebody's wrestling the Death Riders.
Damn it!
Cope and Jay White. Could you call them Edgeblade? They're going up against Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli in a Brisbane brawl. Golly, I just don't care.
Look, if someone uses a spoon as a weapon, I'm all in. Or hit someone with the didgeridoo.
Something.
These are all the things that I'm here for. Maybe a run-in by Bluey. Well, now that's Disney. You can't really. This is Warner Discovery property. You can't have a Bluey run-in. I'm sorry.
What about Bushwhacker Luke?
I hope not.
No?
He
would lie. What if he's part of the Death Riders?
I could see that. They both have the similar haircut. But I think the biggest problem with that is having to make that man sit on a plane for that long with his bad knees.
Oh, that's a good point.
So I respect the Bushwhackers too much to make them have to do that. I'm guessing that we're going to get a bunch of interference. We're going to, because this is a Brisbane brawl. I thought it had a cooler second name. All right. It's a Brisbane brawl. Fine. You'll get Yuta. Maybe you'll get Pac. Pac shows up for work infrequently at best. He's the Roman Reigns of this group. So maybe there'll be some run-ins. I know that they're doing a Ring of Honor taping that the show as well. So maybe there's someone on the Ring of Honor show. And you see here, you get the Outrunners or somebody or anybody to make us care about this. Maybe they open up the briefcase and a koala steals the title.
Ooh, I'd like that.
This is what we're left with here, guys. Outback Jack makes a run in.
Oh, yes.
No, boy, but if I wanted to talk about dated guys from the 80s, catch an episode of Straight Talk with the Boss.
Yeah, heck yeah, you are. You can check out me and my buddies, Magnum TA and Greg Gagne, as we cover a lot of ground on that. We talked about all the week's happenings in wrestling, plus we talk about a little historical stuff. Magnum TA this week has a great story about Ric Flair in Philadelphia. It's a very funny story, so be sure to tune in for that.
Funny story. Did you see the Ric Flair news?
No, what is that?
Apparently, he said he went to the doctor, and the doctor told him, did you know you had a heart attack?
What? And
he's like, what? He had no idea. Maybe I don't know nothing from nothing, but that dude's been drinking a lot of the Woo Energy.
Yes, which is now available on Amazon.
It is. So there's a backstory to that in the history of Rumor and Innuendo. At one point in time, we had teased long before you had joined the threat of having to drink one of those on air.
Oh, I would do that. I would totally do that,
guys. We're gonna make it happen.
Let's make it happen. I'll drink a Woo Energy.
We're gonna make Dom drink a Woo Energy. It will be the last episode of Dominic D'Angelo, and then we'll have a wonderful wake Maybe we'll have a wake and bake if we invite Rob Van Dam.
That's right. Hey, we said yesterday that we are going to go live at 9 p.m. Well, guess what? We postponed. We're doing it tonight, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Celebrate your Valentine's Day night with your special gal.
I just want to clarify. Rob Van Dam.
Yes.
Who has a partner.
Yes.
Is voluntarily spending his Valentine's Day evening hanging out with Dominic D'Angelo.
How about that, huh?
That is sweet. I like that. That is too sweet to work off your shirt there. You got the outsider shirt on. Guys, you know what? No, it'd be too sweet if you go check out the audio version of our show on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. Help the algorithm out. I don't understand how algorithms work. Pretty sure it's taken over the world. Pretty sure it's why YouTube keeps showing me all sorts of Chris Van Vliet wrestling clips intermixed. Just I hear more from Chris on YouTube than I do in real life. And we've known each other for a very long time because, Chris needs the plug. But anyway, we like the plug. We need the plug. You can catch us here every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including the WW Creative _ISH X account, the @SE Scoops X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, and on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo ad-free shows and Working Stiff. Dom, we celebrated our second Valentine's Day together. You did not get me a gift. I went outside. I had nothing waiting at the door for you. It was heartbreaking, but you know what'll make it up to us?
What's that?
Making sure the show gets posted.
Absolutely.
How's that? Dominic D'Angelo, best producer in all of wrestling podcasting. So on behalf of the Razor Ramon, to my Diesel, Dominic D'Angelo, Robert Karpelis, best of luck in your future endeavors.
Hey, he ain't heartbreak kidding.